What's up, Homestead homies? Of course, Doug's trying to finish eating his dinner before the live show broadcast. Oh my goodness, it is hot today.
Oh, how's everyone doing out there?
Oh,
It is a
they're
hot one.
great.
We're sweating, aren't we?
Oh, sure.
I'll wipe the sweat off of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been at it all day long. If you guys followed us on the Instagram and Twitter and stuff, we were trying to tell you guys that we were, going to be here, and we've been cooking all day in the sun oven. We had seven
Seven sun ovens. Oh my gosh.
7 sun ovens going at the same time. By the way, that's Paul.
Hi, how you doing?
He's the owner, operator, CEO, mastermind behind the sun oven program.
And the know-all of everything. Yeah.
He enjoyed some Haymaker's Punch today.
Sure did.
I think that was the first time you've ever had that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he
Hopefully
said,
it won't be the last. But...
Yeah, he said, I saw that on the video, and then he's like, what's in it? I'm like, well, you got to watch the video. So I guess we're going to hang out for a little while. We're going to talk about sun oven. We're going to answer your guys' questions best we can. And then we're going to tell you guys how you can register, because we'll be giving away a free sun oven coming up. And that's pretty exciting stuff. So I'm going to read the comments. And these two real talkative folks are going to entertain you. All right. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Paul. Hey, 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 everybody. Hey. Hey, Susie. Hey, Liz. Hey, Debbie Pettigrew. How big is the sun oven?
Well, let's see. The reflectors, when it's folded up, are 24 inches by 20 inches. The interior of the oven, the opening is 15 inches wide. The front is 9 inches deep. The back is 11 inches deep.
And for carrying purposes, it has a handle on it, and I just pick it up and I carry it, and it's so easy and simple. And it stores, you can just stick it somewhere in the house, in a room, wherever, and it's really light and easy. It's about 22, 23 pounds.
23 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's designed to cook for a family of 6. So you can pretty much cook for a family of 6 people here in the U.S. or in other countries, developing countries, and cook for a family of 8. But so it, even though it looks small,
we eat more here.
We eat a lot more here, believe me.
What food would be best avoided? Can you guys hear everything okay? Leave a comment so I can make sure you guys are hearing everything okay.
Because we're outside today.
Yeah, we're in the outdoor kitchen.
Yeah, the food that's best avoided is anything that's fried. A sun oven is great for baking, boiling, steaming foods, but it really can't do anything that's fried. So any fried foods is the thing to avoid cooking in a sun oven.
And that's good. Stay away from those fried foods.
Okay, so someone asked, can you dehydrate in the sun oven?
Yep, we actually, as we speak, we're doing some sun-dried tomatoes, and we made videos of using it as a solar dryer or dehydrator. There's two, normally to cook in the sun oven, there's 2 latches that latch the glass door shut, which traps the air inside, gets really hot. You can turn the latches in towards the center of the sun oven, set the glass on top of it, and then that allows the moist air to escape and keeps it from getting too hot, and makes an excellent dryer or dehydrator. It's great for sun-dried tomatoes, any kind of fruits, vegetables.
All your herbs.
Wonderful for herbs.
Herbs are so easy, so easy in it.
Or jerky, or pretty much anything that you want to dry or dehydrate can be done in the sun.
Right.
They want to know about cleanup. After you use the sun oven, what do you use to clean it up with, and is it easy?
Yeah, the reflectors on the sun oven, you only have to clean them if they get dirty or dusty, and that you clean with any kind of a glass cleaner, like vinegar, water, Windex, whatever you use to clean your windows, and they'll polish right up. Now, the interior of the oven is got a black anodized aluminum surface that's actually pretty easy to clean if you spill anything in it. Now, my wife and I have a disagreement about how you clean the inside of the sun oven, and I think some couples might relate to it. My wife almost never spills anything. If she does, we'll take a dish rag, carefully wipe out the inside of it, and then rinse the dish rag once or twice, make sure there's no soap residue.
It's so simple. Just
I turn on the sign and spray it with a garden hose.
Yeah.
So it's just a man's way of doing it, or a woman's way. Both work just fine. It's very easy to keep clean. And keep in mind, when you cook in the sun oven, everything you cook other than bakery goods, you cook in a sealed container, like a pot with a lid on it, or a bag that's trapping, because you need to trap the moisture inside, so you don't get splattering inside of it. So you don't have to clean it like you do a conventional oven. The only time you really need to clear anything is if you spill food in.
And then when you close it, it's kind of, you get the condensation from it cooking. So you have that moisture in there. So when you go to clean it up, you already have a little moisture in there. You just wipe it down. So it's really easy.
And then someone asked if they could use Simple Clean. I guess you could.
Sure,
right?
absolutely. On the interior.
Or you could use the off-grid with Doug and Stacy cleaner that we taught you guys how to make.
Yeah, use your old oranges or your old lemons or your old herbs. It works good.
And somebody asked, what am I eating?
You guys, come on. I'll give you five questions. What do you think?
You get one hint. Taco night.
Yeah, you have a taco night.
We still have the turkey is out in the sun oven right now, or we would have had turkey. So we had to whip up some taco night.
So I had leftover taco night from the other night, so we have that. And then there's some arugula and kale in it, right? In the garden. And tomatoes. We just started getting tomatoes. How about you guys? Are you getting some tomatoes? We just got a few. I can't wait to keep getting more.
So the next question is, what is the warranty? Is there a warranty?
Yeah, the reflectors on the sun oven are warranted for 15 years, not to oxidize, rust, corrode, or lose any of their reflectivity. The gasket in the sun oven is warranted for also 15 years, not to fail. I've been making the sun ovens. I took over making from the inventor 19 years ago, and I've never needed to replace a set of reflectors because they failed, or a gasket because they failed, but we just had to put a cutoff point somewhere, so we made it 15 years. There's also a satisfaction guarantee that if somebody gets a sun oven for any reason they're not happy, they can return it anytime the first 30 days and get a full refund of their money.
And can I say something?
Sure.
We use ours all the time. I am really, 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 really hard on it. Really hard on it. And it's been caught in the rain. I mean, it's been left out overnight. I mean, I use it all the time, every day in the summer months especially. And it's still in great condition. The reflectors look great. I mean, everything is good on it. So that's just
there's nothing really that can go wrong with it, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Make sure you're trying to speak up, because some people are saying that it's low volume.
All
right.
right.
Move closer?
Maybe move closer.
All righty. Sorry about
Come
that.
closer.
It's all right.
Can they hear you? No?
They can hear me fine.
Okay.
Doug's voice carries. All right. Can you cook in snow or ice?
Yes. The key with the sun oven is the amount of direct sunlight you have. So as long as there's enough sun to cast a shadow, you can use the sun oven. If there's not enough sun to cast a shadow, you can't. But it can be 0 and sunny, and frankly, it will cook better than it will on a day when it's 80 degrees and overcast. So yes, there's no issues at all with cooking in the winter. The only difference of cooking in the summer and the winter is in June, you can use the sun oven 12, even 13 hours a day, where in December, you're limited to about 6 hours a day of cooking. Right. So those are pretty much the only differences of summer and winter cooking.
Yeah, because it was really nice because you have such longer days in the summer months. I was making some more ghee, and I started at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was fine. It took me about an hour and a half or so, and it was perfect.
Speak up. So they want to know about cooking time. If a sun oven at 350 versus a conventional oven at 350, how does that compare?
Basically, with the sun oven, if you compared the time to cooking in your regular oven or your stovetop, you add 15 minutes onto your cooking time for each time you open the door of it. So
no peeking, right?
But I mean,
if you're in a hurry.
So every time you open the door, including the first time you put it in, you just add 15 minutes. So your cooking time is almost the same as it would be on your stovetop or your regular oven. Or you can use it like a slow cooker or a crock pot. Just put the food in, leave it, set it where the sun's going to be in halfway in the time you estimate that you're going to be gone from it, and it will slow cook all day.
That's my favorite way to do it.
And that's a lot, saves a lot of hassle. You just put it out and don't even worry about it. Nothing burns and nothing dries out, so it's a very forgiving way to cook. For your cooking time, if you just add 15 minutes for each time you open the door.
Can it handle a 9x13 pan?
Yes, it depends on the lips of the pan. I mean, if the interior is 9x13, the width of it is 14 inches. Now on the leveling rack, if you turn it sideways, in other words, you turn it the way that's opposite of the way the leveling rack goes, in essence, the shorter side of it, you'll get an extra ½ an inch that you can have with it. But if the 9x13 pan, if the total combined area length of the handles is more than an inch, then it's not going to fit. But as long as they're less than an inch, it will fit fine.
There you go. Somebody also commented that you could make one yourself. You don't have to buy this one. But
Absolutely.
as we were talking earlier, a lot of people do try it, but there's things about the sun oven that make it tried and true versus like a homemade oven or even other ovens like on the market.
You know, the sun oven, I mean, you can make a homemade solar cooker that will do about half of what you can do in the sun oven. Most homemade solar cookers, you can only cook slowly. You're not going to be able to cook quickly. If you go online, frankly, for the sun oven, what's called a box type solar cooker, you could probably find 10,000 plans for making a solar cooker like that. But is that if you want to count on it and really rely on using it, you can, you know, a sun oven, almost anybody who starts cooking in a homemade one and really likes it buys a sun oven eventually anyway, because it's so much more user friendly and gets a lot hotter, allows you to cook quickly, allows you to cook slowly. And the main difference is the sun oven has a gasket. That gasket forms an airtight seal, and that's why side by side with most homemade solar cookers, it's going to be 75 to 100 degrees hotter.
Or even other solar cookers on the market, this one does outperform. This is like the Cadillac, the Mercedes of solar cookers. And several people, when we asked that question, chimed in and said they tried to make a homemade solar cooker, but it didn't work. Now, someone wants to know, they have children, and they want to know, does the outside of the oven get hot?
No, the outside of the oven does not get hot. The outer box is actually made of ABS plastic, but between the inner box of the sun oven and the outer box is a very thick pad of a non-toxic food-grade fiberglass insulation. Sometimes you can touch the side of the oven and what's in the direct sun gets a little warm, like anything sitting in the direct sun, but no heat escapes. The reflectors do not get hot at all, so you don't have to worry about burning yourself. And the light from the reflectors reflect in and not out. There's a type of solar cooker that light reflects out that actually can be dangerous. And sometimes when people read about that, they think that applies to all. With the sun oven, the light reflects into the chamber, so there's no issue that if you look at it, you're going to go blind or anything like that. So it's very safe around small children. The only part of the oven that gets hot at all that's exposed is the door. When it's 350 degrees in the sun oven, the outside of the door gets up to about 155 degrees Fahrenheit. And we always say that gets hot enough to keep your neighbor's dog from eating your pot roast. So any animal that's out in the daytime will sense the heat and will stay away from it.
Around here, the dogs are around here, the chickens, and then they just leave.
And so, and if a child, frankly, was old enough to reach over the reflector and touch the glass, they'd be old enough to know better. So you really don't have a worry about, you know, children getting burned if you have your sun oven and you're not watching it.
And then one of our Canadian watchers wanted to know if you can ship to Canada.
We can ship to Canada. There is an $82 surcharge for shipping to Canada, but that includes not only the cost of shipping, but the cost of the taxes, the import taxes and the VAT taxes that are charged by the Canadian government. You can't order from our website and have it shipped to Canada, but if you call us during business hours, our toll-free number, which works from Canada, is 1-800-408-7919, and that's on our website and everywhere. If you want to order for Canada, it's best to call. You can call toll-free and order it, and we can get it shipped right out to you.
And make sure when you do call that you mention that you're Homestead Homies and you're calling about the Off Grid with Doug and Stacy offer. So that way they can give you the discount, and that'll help offset the extra cost to shipping to Canada.
Right. There's a $70 discount that's available to Homestead Homies. So that's something you really want to take advantage of.
What are Stacy's favorite sun oven recipes? Hi, Amanda.
Hello. Oh, my favorite ones? Well, I love to make hard-boiled eggs in it. And I mean, it's basic stuff. I'm into really easy. So like rice, potatoes. We did corn on the cob today. That is so simple. I mean, just basic stuff. And then basically just sticking in like a chicken. Chicken is one of my favorites, or making like a stew. But I think chicken is my favorite, maybe with some rice or some potatoes and some carrots. And then it makes really good cobblers and desserts.
If you guys want to get the sun oven phone number, all you have to do is come back to this video when it re-uploads, or you can also use Google Pants, type in All American Sun Oven, it'll come right up, and the phone number will be right there for you. It's a 1-800 number. How do you get the coupon? Carrie Clark, the coupon is on every one of our Sun Oven videos. We have a whole playlist, and I'll actually leave it in this when we repost it when the video is over. So you can come back and click through on the coupon, but you probably are going to be wanting to try to win one, and we're going to tell you guys how to do that here in a minute. And then you'll be able to register for that. And then we have some information that we're offering up that you guys can attend a class, and they'll have a lot more in-depth information. And then you can register to win one. And then all the coupon codes are on every video. Actually, every single video has the All-American Sun Oven coupon in the description box. Cast iron in it?
Yes, cast iron works great for slow cooking.
Yeah.
There's enamelware pots. The thinner, because the Sun Oven, the whole chamber is the same temperature, the thinner the pot, the faster things cook. So if I was going to cook something in, say, an enamelware pot and cook the same thing in cast iron, it'll take an hour and a half longer, 90 minutes longer for the Sun Oven to come up to temperature with the cast iron in it. But if you're going to leave food in it unattended, I like using cast iron because it retains the heat. And then if it suddenly gets cloudy, the food will finish cooking, and because of the retained heat. So for cooking slowly, cast iron works really well.
Right, and
as long as it has a lid on the pot.
And then if you do, I did like muffins. I have like little cast iron muffin container, and I use that cast iron, and it works too.
Speak up. So does the Sun Oven work well on cloudy days, or does it have to just be full sun all the time?
It does not have to be full sun, but there does need to be, think of the groundhog. If you can see your shadow, you can cook in the Sun Oven. If you can't see your shadow, you're not going to be able to cook in the sun.
And it's just going to take a little longer if it's really cloudy, but you can see your shadow. It just takes longer than if you had full sun.
Exactly.
And total noob, the Sun Oven is cheaper through our link, so don't tell people to buy it on Amazon. All right, let's see what else. If you cook out in the outdoor kitchen, basically screen porch that makes the kitchen sort of a semi out of the weather, is the Sun Oven impervious to the elements?
Well, I mean, you can, as long as you have enough sun, you can cook in it. I don't store my Sun Oven outside only because then I have to clean it every time I use it. Yeah. And it's a lot more work to clean it than it is to wind up putting or covering it in some manner. What some people do is you can go to a Menards, Home Depot, even a Walmart, and buy a fire pit cover. And a fire pit cover will cover it right over it. You can turn the string, and for $15, you can use a fire pit cover if you want to keep it outside. I like covering
a tarp. You can
or
get a tarp.
Yeah,
a little bitty tarp.
And but I just find that it's a lot less work to cover it or put it inside than it is to clean it every time I use it.
Maybe were they talking about using it in elements?
No. Okay. Hardiness approach. Yes, people use this Sun Oven in the Pacific Northwest all the time. You're not out of the usage. They use these in Alaska. I mean, you can use them anywhere where you can see your shadow. All right. All right, Total Knob, I got you. He didn't say to buy it there. He was just showing how much it was. Well, you could have just put the price without the Amazon. What is the regular maintenance or cleaning for the Sun Oven?
There's no maintenance other than there's a frame on the Sun Oven that's made of wood. And we do suggest every 5 years or so, you treat the wood with either linseed oil or exterior wood stain, and then the wood will last forever. So there's the cleaning, as we mentioned earlier, that you can clean the reflectors in the interior, but other than treating the wood every 5 years, there's no maintenance whatsoever.
It's very simple to clean.
Can you adjust the temperature of the oven?
You can't set a temperature, but you can adjust the temperature. The more often you realign it to follow the sun, the hotter the temperature. If every 30 minutes you realign it to follow the sun, you'll keep it at the maximum temperature. If you want to keep it at a lower temperature, you just realign it less often. It's not like a regular oven that you can set it to a particular temperature. So things aren't, it's not an exact science. Sometimes things take a little bit longer or cook a little bit quicker. But because nothing burns, if it cooks quicker, you can just leave it in the oven longer. But so that's how you adjust the temperature.
Laura, it's like hot as heck out here. I'm making sure they're speaking up so you can hear. There's 400 plus people in the on the video right now, and the chat thing is blowing up. I'm not irritated. I got no problems, but I'm just making sure you guys can hear us. And then she kind of whispered a little bit. Want to make sure you guys can hear us. Want to make sure I'm reading the questions. Everything's good. All right. Can I set my pot just on the bottom without the shelf, or do I have to leave the shelf in at all times?
You don't have to leave the shelf in, the leveling shelf in at all times, but the leveling rack does fold up and goes in the bottom. You never want to put a pot or pan directly on the floor of the sun oven. The even heat that you get with the sun oven is because you have airflow all the way around the food. So the arms on the leveling rack will just fold underneath, set it down. That raises it up just enough so you have airflow around it, or you can use a trivet in the bottom of the oven. But you never want to set a pot or a pan directly on the floor of the sun oven.
I have a cast iron, you know, kind of a Dutch oveny thing, and it has legs on it. And that was perfect for, we could put that in there because it had the legs. So if I wanted to take that rack out, I could just stick that in there and it works really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you could have a sun oven family reunion. If all the people in your family had sun ovens, you guys could show up at the park and everyone could whip out their sun ovens and you could do like the whole kit and caboodle. We've done videos where we've cooked 2 chickens at the same time. Today we cooked a 10-pound turkey. Was it 10 pounds?
10.5 pounds.
10.5 pound turkey today. We had 7 sun ovens going out here.
Oh, it's crazy.
We did corn on the cob. We did turkey. We did brownie. We did brownies. We did rice.
Corn on the cob.
Bread.
Yeah.
You can do cookies. You can do bread. I mean, you can do anything you can cook on a regular conventional oven. You can cook in a sun oven, but it'll even taste better.
And you know what? Rice, I don't know what it is. There's some about it. Like rice tastes better out of the sun oven than it does when I cook it on the pot.
Yeah, when rice and beans particularly are 2 things that just get a completely. I think it's because the complex carbohydrates break down very slowly.
Right.
And it changes the taste
I
of
mean,
it. Beans, there's no, when people eat beans, I can't tell you the hundreds of emails I've gotten from people saying, why do my beans taste so much better?
Yeah.
And so they really are delicious when you cook
because when I go, because I love rice. It's my favorite thing. And when I go to eat it, there's a big difference between sun oven rice and rice that I cook just, you know, on the stove.
Does the sun oven off gas at all?
No, it does not. It's a natural, it's just heating the air. We always suggest that if you get a new sun oven, that the first time you use it, you just take and put 3 cups of vinegar in a pot, steam the whole inside of it completely, then clean the inside with the warm vinegar water, basically the warm vinegar, and just make sure if there was any from the manufacturing process, any residues or anything left with it, then there's no outgassing. You don't have to worry at all about
vinegar is our friend. Yeah, love that vinegar.
Does it rust?
There's sometimes some of the 1 or 2 of the bolts might get a little bit of rust on them. There's really nothing on the inside that rusts per se. Sometimes if the coating comes off some of the screws, they have a tiny bit of rust. Most of the time you can just wipe the rust right off of it, so it's not truly rusting through like it would, you know, some like steel or something would be that was rusting.
You use the stainless steel screws?
We use stainless steel screws pretty much
I've had people ask that about that before. What is the sun oven made of? I guess if you want to explain the exterior and the interior.
Sure. Okay. The outer box of the sun oven is made of ABS plastic. The interior box is made of a black anodized aluminum, and then between the box and the outer plastic box is a very thick pad of a non-toxic food-grade fiberglass insulation. It's actually the same kind of insulation that's used in pizza ovens. Then there's a wooden frame or bezel that holds the whole thing together, which is obviously made of wood. And then there's a gasket. The gasket is actually the most important thing in the sun oven, and the reason it gets so much hotter than homemade solar cookers and things like that. The reflectors are made of a highly polished anodized aluminum. They're 86% reflective, but they're never going to oxidize, rust, or corrode. And then the door of the sun oven is made of a low iron tempered glass. And when you reduce the iron content, or basically take the iron content out of glass, it filters less sun, allows it to get hot inside. Low iron glass actually costs 4 times more than conventional tempered glass does, but the low iron tempered glass door allows more sunlight to go inside of it.
Okay. Now, I don't know if Paul's going to get upset. Okay. We are working with Paul, and we are going to come out with a off-grid with Doug and Stacy edition for the sun oven. And in that, we're working on a sun oven cookbook, because a lot of people are asking for Stacy about a sun oven cookbook. And we're going to try to include that in there. Now, we haven't done anything about it yet, very preliminary. So when we figure this all out, then we're going to let you guys know, and that'll be kind of cool. Because they keep asking about Stacy doing a sun oven cookbook. We're going to include some of our favorite recipes and stuff that we like to do. Yay, 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 yes.
And the sun oven does come with a computer CD that has 600 recipes and state-of-the-art software. All of those recipes are on our website as well at sunoven.com. So,
and it's a free download.
And it's a free download. You can just go to sunoven.com and click the button that says recipes up on the top, and you can. They're in 37 different categories. If you're into vegetarian cooking, there's over 150 vegetarian recipes, and then there's a lot of pork recipes and everything in between.
And then you get the actual CD too. If you want a CD.
Right. And we used that when we first got it. I mean, so that it's very useful. All right, working. Let's see. Love it. I want one of those cookbooks. That would be great. Homestead Homies, come over and check it out. Payment plans.
We don't have a payment plan, unfortunately. So we do accept any major credit card, but we don't have a payment plan.
Right. You guys are on your own. You got to save up and get one. A lot of people do, and you know, they're there for you. And I'm just letting you guys know that it's a. You know, let's talk about preparedness.
Yeah, I was just you were reading my mind. I was just going to say that.
Paul's going to explain to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys, you know, you don't have a problem getting it, but a lot of you guys think, oh, the price might be a little too much. But he's going to explain to you about preparedness, and you know, in the long run, this thing pays for itself very quickly.
Will easily pay for itself in one summer just by using it. And frankly, my wife and I have been preppers for 19 years, and we've got a lot of food stored and a lot of preparedness supplies. And, you know, preparing for emergencies is expensive. It's hard to feed your family today and set aside money to be able to have food storage for tomorrow and all the supplies you need. But unlike so many other preparedness items, if you just start using the sun oven, you'll pay for it very quickly, some in what you save in the cooking fuel costs. The average American household spends about 14% of their utility budget on cooking fuel. However, depending on where you live, if you've got air conditioning or fans, if you have your oven, you know, on a day when it's over 80 degrees, if you turn on your oven to bake bread, you're going to spend more money to cool your house than you do for the cost of the bread and the energy to cook it combined. So if you start using the sun oven, so many people have told us it solved their preparedness budget problem, because once they started using it, once they pay for it, they keep track of the savings, and the money they save by using it is what they use to fund the rest of their food storage and emergency preparedness supplies. And you'll find that if you do have like freeze-dried or dehydrated preparedness foods, that the taste will be totally different when it's cooked in the sun, and you don't have to boil water first. You just use 25% less water than what the packaging will tell you to do with your preparedness foods. Put the water in at room temperature, at ambient temperature, just stir it, put it in the sun oven in a pot with a lid on it, and it will come out perfect. And, you know, in preparedness, having enough potable water is a major consideration. So having the opportunity to be able to then cook your preparedness foods with less water and a lot less energy, because you don't boil the water first. And I hope, I mean, we've been prepping, as I say, for 19 years. We've had a policy that we never buy food storage that we don't cook. My wife cooks everything because, frankly, a lot of the preparedness foods don't taste very good. And we cook it, and then we know what other spices and things we need. And we bought other freeze-dried spices, herbs, things to add to it. We experiment and then keep a list of it so we know what it's going to taste like when we're ready to use it. And so I hope if you're preparing, you're doing that. But sometime if you get a chance, cook half of it in the conventional way, half in the sun oven, and you'll be amazed at the taste difference of preparedness foods. It can also be used, by the way, for preparedness to boil or pasteurize water, and it can be used to heat water for things like doing dishes, laundry, personal hygiene, things like that.
Yeah, we have mentioned that it does dehydrate, and it also has a, for back to the preparedness thing, a way to purify water.
Correct. There's a little device that's available on the Doug and Stacy package that is called a WAPI, or Water Pasteurization Indicator. It's just a simple thing, and this just floats on the top of a pot or a pan or a mason jar. And if You can see there's a green wax. When this green wax melts and goes to the bottom, that means water is pasteurized. Pasteurizing water kills all the biological contaminants that boiling does. It just does it in less than half the time. Water pasteurizes by bringing it to a temperature above 150 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 minutes. So this is part of the package that's available if you take advantage of the offer that we have.
And yeah, you cannot use this by like a window in your house. You have to put it outside, and it has to be full exposure to the sun. You don't have to adjust it all day long, depending on what you're cooking and how you're doing it, to reach the maximum temperatures and to shorten the cooking time. Then you would adjust it with the sun as the sun moves through the sky. Otherwise, you can just, we set it out, and if we leave the homestead, we're gone all day long, and we come home, we kind of turn it in a way where the sun is going to catch it. And then when we come home, our food is ready to go. And it's not burned, it's not dried out, it's not anything.
Yeah, because it makes because of the moisture, it traps all the moisture in there. And, you know, depending on what it is, you don't need to put any water or anything in it. And a lot of times I do because I want more like a broth, but you don't have to because it'll make it.
Like if you're gonna make a chicken, you can throw the chicken in the pot, put some potatoes, carrots, onions in with it, and the juice from the chicken will cook
fill
it
the whole
up.
pot with
And
with
you don't have to add any moisture whatsoever to it.
You can even throw the chicken in frozen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Sure. You can start with the frozen. If you're going to slow cook all day, we suggest you start with the frozen chicken. So.
And it definitely works as good, I think even better than a conventional oven, because it's not a dry heat. It doesn't dry out your food. It doesn't heat up your house. Once you have that initial investment, it pays for itself over time. So you're not repaying again for the electricity. You're not paying for the gas. So in our experience, and we've had ours for
6 years.
6 years. It just works better. I mean, guys, we wouldn't even bring it to you if it wasn't solid. We use it like nobody's business.
I mean, funny thing is when we first moved, we had gotten it, we were prepping and all that before we moved out here, and we had it. And then it was like, why aren't we using this? Because we were out here and we were trying to figure out ways to cook. And then I started using it, and it was like, wow, this thing is great. I mean, for us, it's just been.
And make sure that you guys hit the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps out the live chat when you hit the thumbs up. It's right down there. It's a little blue thumb, and all you have to do is hit that. And then we have almost 500 people watching right now. So let's get 450 thumbs up. All right. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm going to start saving now. All right. The sun oven is definitely on my list. Can it be used for baking?
Yes, you can bake anything in it that you bake in your regular oven.
A pie, a cobbler, breads, cookies.
Up to a 21-pound turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, we will be at the Mother Earth News Fair in Albany.
Oregon.
In Oregon.
It's the first week.
Coming up, couple weeks. And we'll actually have some literature there. We take the sun oven literature everywhere we go. So if you guys come there, we can give you the literature. You can read over it, and the coupon will be stuck on there, and then you can think about doing it up. Does chicken meat brown in the sun oven?
If you sprinkle some paprika on it or rub some olive oil on the skin or butter on the skin, then it will brown very nicely.
How long on average does it take to heat up on a normal sunny day?
You can preheat an empty sun oven to 300 degrees in about 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
And I'll put it out in the sun, and it's up to 150 and 150 degrees.
By the time you set it down.
Yeah, it's ready.
And you guys, one thing we want to caution you on, if you do get one, it's a mind thing, right? Like you look inside of there and you think because it's outside that it's not hot, and then you'll go to reach your hand in there.
Oh,
it's very hot. So you'll need pot holders, you'll need oven mitts, you'll need stuff like that because it's hot. It's just like a regular oven. Now, someone else asked, we use our sun oven on the ground a lot, and people see that. And they want to know, like, does it have to be like on the ground, or can it be on a stand or a table? Or
you can use it on the ground, you can use it on a stand or a table. The bottom doesn't get hot, so you can set on your finest place tablecloth. indicators, and there's two of them. And one's designed so that if you had it on the ground, you could see easily and know it. The other's designed if you had it on a table. Some people, though, find that a table is too high and the ground is too low. If you've got like a child's wagon, try putting the sun oven in the wagon. You can actually turn the wagon to follow the sun, and that works great. Or in a wheelbarrow, and that's the right height. So some people stooping over is a little too low, and so shorter people have a hard time reaching over the reflectors when it's on a table. The height of a wheelbarrow or a wagon works perfectly. You can actually just turn the wheelbarrow or wagon to follow the sun, and that works really well as a way that's in between the two.
Now, someone asked about the WAPI. Is it 6 minutes after the wax melts, the water is safe, or is it safe as soon as the wax melts?
As soon as the wax melts, it's been that's accommodated for the 6 minutes in it.
Now, one thing I want to add on to what we were just talking about is if you have it on the ground, it comes with tent stakes that you can put into the back, the adjustment arm, and that'll keep it from blowing over. But if you use it on a table, you can actually use a bungee cord, wrap it around the table, and do the same thing in case it's a windy day so it won't blow over. Let's see here.
Yeah, because those stakes are very, very, very useful on a windy day, because I've had it before where you forget to put them in and it's like, oh, got windy and it blew everything over.
And I've cooked in winds as high as 45 miles an hour.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not pleasant, but it won't
no, here
blow
too.
over. And there's a little thumb screw that will lock the reflectors in place. The reflectors will flap around a little bit in the wind and make some noise, but it's not going to hurt anything. And so you can cook in pretty windy days with it.
Yeah, and actually Paul will be at the Homesteaders of America conference on October 14th in Virginia. He'll be there, full-blown demonstrations. We'll be hanging out at his booth area, so you guys could stop by there and then tell him how great your sun oven is after you purchase it this week, and just, you know, share stories and get to know him a little bit. He's a really super nice guy, and that'll be really cool. So yes, he will be there, and he'll also be at Topeka, right?
The Mother Earth News Fair in Topeka.
Mother Earth News Fair in Topeka. So you guys have two chances to catch us all together. We'll be hanging out at his booths at both events. All right, let's see here. Ding ding dong. Can I cook for my whole family of 7 in it?
Well, you can cook for a family of 6. It depends if you've got young children. Yeah, it won't be a problem cooking for people after they've used the sun oven a lot. Oftentimes you'll get a second one, and that way, if you wanted to, you could be baking bread in one and making a roast in the other. But it's designed for an American family of 6 people.
So someone said, just real quick, what part of Virginia? At 2, all you have to do is look at any one of our videos. The link to the Homesteaders of America conference is there, and all the details are there. I will tell you guys that they're selling tickets like crazy. The hotel rooms are now getting squeezed. So if you guys are thinking about going, don't wait till the last minute. Make your arrangements
Plan your vacation now.
Get your tickets now. I think pretty soon, like the closest hotel is like 20 minutes away. So if you guys are seriously thinking about that, it's not that far off. You better start making your arrangements and check the link.
Yeah, I'm ready for that heat to
So
down.
some people say they live in the desert, and they want to know, will it hold up? Will it last in the desert?
It will last in the desert as long as every 5 years or so you treat the wood. There's no reason it won't last a lifetime.
I would think that Africa is as hot as the desert.
There's a lot, depending on where in Africa, yeah, but I've cooked in Tunisia and North Africa. That's all.
And Afghanistan.
And Afghanistan. And both very brutal places to cook. And I've had the opportunity to use the sun oven on 5 different continents in some pretty harsh environments, and they work very, very well.
That's right. So they also, again, want to know about cooking in the winter.
Okay, the winter cooking, the main difference is that if you've stored the oven outside, your preheating time will be a little bit longer in the winter, and the number of hours a day you can cook in the winter are shorter. There's 2 ways to cook in the sun oven, as I mentioned. You can cook slowly or quickly in the winter. I don't try to cook slowly. Weather changes. I'm in the Midwest. We're in Illinois, and so I do realign in the winter. I go out and realign it every 30 minutes because I want to get my cooking done as fast as possible. Yeah. But other than that, there's really no difference between cooking in the winter and the summer than the fact that you do want to cook quickly, and the number of hours are less in the winter that you have direct sunlight.
Good to grow. That's good to know. Glad to hear that you're burning up the boat, so there'll be no turning back. All right. Well, there'll be so they want to know, like, on these cheapest model that we have on our link, what's included in that?
Okay. There on the link, there's two things. One is just a sun oven with no accessories, and that normally sells on the Sun Oven website for $349. That would be $299. Or there's a $70 discount for the sun oven, and that includes what we call the dehydrating and preparedness accessory package. And that that sells for $399 normally. With the Doug and Stacy coupon, it's $329, and that includes stackable pots. It includes the water pasteurization indicator. That includes the a set of bread pans. It includes the dehydrating racks, which are 3 racks in parchment paper. And quite frankly, for the $30 difference in price that accessory package sells on our website for $100, it really is a better value, because when we ship it, we can, a big part of frankly, the things we sell on our website is shipping costs. And so when we can ship all those things inside the sun oven, you save money. And that really is a much better value to get the whole package than to wait. And yes, there's a $30 difference, but it's well worth that $30 to get all the accessories.
Joe Derby, if it gets -20 there, the outside temperature doesn't matter as much. You need to be able to see a shadow and have sun.
Right. Somebody did a project in Antarctica about 6 years ago where we sent 20 sun ovens. They cooked for a whole group of people, and they were cooking in temperatures pretty consistently at 40 below zero, and using it, and they were amazed that they were able to do it, but they couldn't bring in enough bottled gas to do their heating and cooking, so they bought in the sun oven so they didn't have to bring in the bottled gas that they would need for their cooking.
Wow.
All right, I'm trying to catch all the questions. What kind of warranty does it have? Some of these are going to be repeated. People are just coming in and out.
Yeah, the reflectors and gasket are warranted for 15 years, and then there's a 30-day satisfaction guarantee with the oven.
Someone was curious about humidity. Does it affect the oven?
No, it's an airtight seal. I mean, frankly, it's not as comfortable. We've had a lot of humidity today. So
for you, it's not. For us, but for the oven, it has no bearing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, what about altitude?
Altitude actually works better at higher altitude.
Right, because you're closer to the sun, too.
I mean, the hottest I've ever gotten the sun oven has been in Park City, Utah, where we're way up and just had totally clear skies. And so altitude, water boils at different temperatures. There's a lot of things affected by altitude, but the sun oven actually improves its cooking at a higher altitude.
And then I guess if you're closer to the equator.
Right, it's easier.
So what has been the hottest temperature you've gotten?
The hottest I've ever gotten is 425, but I don't want to represent that's what you consistently
that's
get.
Not consistently.
Consistently, you're going to get 350, 375 in perfect conditions, 400, but it's you're really more the 350, 375 range.
And really, the temperature, even if it's at like 200 and something, it's still going to cook what you have. It's just going to take a little longer. Also, well, I lost my train of thought there. I was going to say something. Okay, and the warranty's 15 years. Paul is the man, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you get it for some reason you don't like it, whatever, it's a hassle-free thing.
Mm-hmm.
And not many people return the sun oven. Once they get it, it's and they use it, then they're amazed by it. If you live where it's really hot, just treat the wood. Paul says that's right. Just make sure you keep the wood treated, and it'll last for years and years and years. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Here's an interesting fact. Paul actually held a Guinness Book World Record of the most cookies cooked at
in
one
time.
Hour. In
1 hour.
In 1 hour. And he used the sun oven, right?
Tell the story.
To do it.
We, after the Haiti earthquake, we did a fundraiser in Miami, Florida, where we broke the Guinness record of cooking the largest number of cookies that have ever been cooked in 1 hour. A federal judge was there to make sure everything was done by the rules and by the book. And we had a volunteer. It was in a grade school, and we had hundreds of kids and a whole lot of sun ovens. And we cooked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, actually thousands and thousands of cookies. And for 2 years, we held the Guinness record for cooking the largest number of cookies that ever been cooked in 1 hour. And it raised a lot of money to send sun ovens to Haiti, where they were really needed.
So Rick says, is there anything that you can't cook in a sun oven? And
fried foods.
Fried foods, that's it. And we've canned butter in it, and we've made ghee, and we cook every single thing we eat here. Hamburger.
You can do a hamburger. You'll be disappointed in the taste of a hamburger. Actually, it'll taste more like meatloaf because it's a baked process.
Right.
And you're used to hamburger having kind of that broiled or barbecued taste. It
Right.
will cook fine. It will just taste more like meatball.
And you
So
know
what about like a taco night?
Well, I mean,
That kind of a meat.
Yeah, that kind of meat
That's
works real,
fine.
real
I've
well.
done
That
that
comes
before.
out, yeah, that comes out great.
And let me tell you another little trick. If you want to kind of do a hamburger, I have little muffin tins, the cast iron muffin tins. So if you make your little burgers and then put them in there and cook them, they turn out good and we have good flavor.
Yes, the link is down below in the description box, so you can check it now, or you can do it after we upload this. That stays on our channel, and you'll click that link, register for the webinar on this Thursday, and at the end of the webinar is when we'll be giving away an All-American Sun Oven. And yes, it will work in the Pacific Northwest. People all the time use it there. It's not a problem.
Yeah, with the web class that we're doing, that will be this Thursday, the July 20th. We'll be doing that at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time. And we've been making videos today that will be part of it. Doug and I will be talking back and forth and asking, answering questions that you have. And everybody who registers for the webinar will be entered into the drawing for winning the Sun Oven.
Free Sun Oven.
And in addition to that, and when you will be putting up the link shortly that so you can register. And when you click that link, we are giving away a free emergency preparedness ebook. And it's a whole ebook I went through and accumulated from, frankly, public documents, but things that the Red Cross and CDC and FEMA put together, checklists, and a whole emergency prepared book. It's a 120-page ebook. Everybody who registers will also receive that. So feel free to register. You'll be able to get the link. We will be sorting through, so there's no point to registering more than once because it's not going to increase your chances of winning. But everybody who registers will do it. We'll be drawing at the end of the class on Thursday evening for the free Sun Oven, and there'll be some other special things associated with the class. So register and join us on Thursday night.
That's funny. Somebody, with Stacy and I were asking this today. Someone asked about popping popcorn.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Sun Oven's got a really even heat, which is the reason nothing burns. But because of that even heat, popcorn is a fried process, and it fries, you have to have a lot of heat right on the bottom of the pan, and so you cannot pop popcorn in the Sun Oven.
So it's popcorn and fried food.
Yep, popcorn and fried food.
But you can make corn on the cob. Really
Really good. Sweet corn, we had that today. All right. A lot of people are registering now. The less expensive Sun Oven is $299.
$299, including shipping, and unless you're in the state of Illinois, there is no sales tax.
Right.
So anywhere, shipping in the 48 United States is included, in the continental or contiguous states is included, and the only place, if it's shipped to Illinois, there's sales tax. If it's shipped anywhere else, there's no sales tax. So the total price of the oven with no accessories is $299 with the Doug and Stacy coupon, or $329 for the oven with the complete package of accessories.
So $299 and $329. All right. Let's see. North Mississippi. Yeah, you can definitely use it in North Mississippi. All right. Do they export? Oh, Australia. We were just talking about Australia today. We have a lot of homestead homies in Australia. And Paul will explain to you what's going on with that.
Yeah, we don't export to Australia, or we don't have this package available for Australia because the cost of shipping and customs is very high. We do have an Australian dealer who does sell the Sun Ovens, and he imports them and then pays all the taxes, and that frankly adds quite a bit to the Sun Oven. So they can be ordered directly. It's called Bonsabai, from Bonsabai, but they will not have the Doug and Stacy package, and they won't. The price will not be the same. And but we aren't able to ship to Australia or New Zealand from the U.S. because it more than doubles the cost of the oven.
Right. So Bonsabai, if you're in Australia, is a place you can go to get the oven. All right. Doug, do you... Let's see. How about Canada? Yes, we ship to Canada. It's a
$82 surcharge, but that includes both the import taxes and the VAT tax.
All right. So before you guys get out of here, the link is down below. You have to register for the e-class on this Thursday night. It's a webinar. We're going to go over a lot more stuff. And at the end of the webinar, through the people that are registered for that and show up, we'll be giving away one sun oven to one of you guys. The pots and the pans,
the whole package,
everything on it. And so that's the way you get registered to win. And we'll be giving that away this Thursday. That's the 20th.
The 20th, July 20th.
July 20th.
And the link is down below. So make sure you hit the thumbs up before you leave. Hit the link, register for the class. Do you send out emails to remind people?
We'll send out a reminder to everybody who's registered right then.
So you'll get an email reminder. You can register up to the day.
You can register up to the starting time of 7 o'clock Central Time. Central Daylight Time.
On the
this
20th
Thursday.
of July.
And then at the end of that class, we'll be giving away an All-American Sun Oven. So make sure you register. I see a lot of people are bailing out, but make sure you register before you leave or come back. This video will upload in a little bit here, and you can get the information and use it. Plus, the Doug and Stacy link will be there. If you're not feeling lucky and you just want to take advantage of the coupon and get your sun oven so you can get your cooking on. All right, let's see here. Registered. Thanks. I'm purchasing one now based on your recommendations. You guys are awesome. And make sure you check. I'll just go back to the last video that we did about supporting the Marine families. Hit the Show More tab, and the link is going to be right down in there. The Off Grid with Doug and Stacy. You'll see it. It's a sun oven link. It's at the bottom, and you can click that and then get one that fits your budget on what you're trying to do. Let's see here. Can't wait. I can't see the registration. What if we can't be there for the class? If you can't be there for the class,
you don't have to be there for the class to win.
Yeah, it's on the
when
webinar.
You register, when you register, we ask you for your email, and whoever wins, we will contact via email. We'll mention it during the class, and then right after the class, I'll email and establish contact with you and let you know.
Okay, so if you register for the class, he'll have your email. You don't necessarily have to be watching.
Correct.
To win the sun oven.
Right.
He will contact the winner of the All-American Sun Oven at the end of the webinar via email. So as long as you're registered, you really should watch. But as long as you're registered and you're there and you get your email saying that you won, you can claim your All-American Sun Oven. So that's super cool because a lot of times people say like, oh, you got to be present and you got to watch. And
you're such a good guy.
Have you ever thought of a model with a small solar panel to compensate for low sun output? No. It doesn't work that way. There's no, now you're making an electric appliance, and that's not what it is.
I mean, the reality is that you could have a small solar panel, but all that would do is charge a battery.
Right.
And in order to heat, the amount of amperage required for an electric oven is huge. You'd actually need a bank of batteries that you'd be charging. It's not a practical thing. It would add tremendous amount of.
This is basically very simple.
Not to mention that if you're relying on a solar panel to help out with cooking for a sun oven, that means you have enough sun in the first place to cook in your sun oven without a solar panel. All right. There's a link to register. Can't wait for the class. Thank you very much. Paul's sun oven classes are so informative. Yep, they are, Rick. And I know that you've seen that one before. And there's going to be some new stuff I think he's going to be going over. The sun oven class is super informative, guys. He goes over a lot more stuff than we did here. So
are you going to show some of the stuff that we did too?
Right, we're going to be showing the videos, some of the videos,
some of the stuff that we did here, and then probably next week I'll put a video up on all the stuff we cooked in the sun oven, and the coupon code will be going, and you know, just you guys, I'm just saying, you really need to add this, make it a priority for you to have. It's not just some fun gadget. I mean, this thing cooks your food.
I mean, we all eat.
You have to eat, and if your electricity goes out, you still have a way to cook. You know, this thing is so versatile. It dehydrates, it cooks, it purifies water.
Can I tell them about Doreen?
Go ahead.
So I have a friend, and her and her husband, they had got it like for a prepping thing, and she had it for years and years and years and years. And then I started telling her how awesome it is, and she's like, oh my gosh. So she started using it, and then she uses it all summer because she doesn't like to heat up her house, and she just loves it. And she lives in the suburbs. and she just puts it in her backyard and she uses it.
Yeah, she was one of those people that had it. She bought it, and they're like, "This is a prep. This is a prep."
Don't
and
open it.
It was sitting in a box in their garage, and me and Stacy were talking to her, and we're like, "Why are you using that thing? You're heating up your house and cooking and everything." She's like, "Well, I don't want to wear it out or something before." And we're like, "No, get that thing out." And then ever since then, she's been like cooking. She loves it. So yeah, you know, you don't get this thing and let it sit around. You get this thing and use it. Let's see. If solar panel is used to supplement 350-degree heat, good to have different ways to cook food, right? And it, like we did rice. I mean, it can do everything.
Well, and then this thing is, we're going to talk about it more once we get our outside kitchen done. But we are like, you know, redundancies, trying to come up with different alternatives to cooking where we don't have to rely on one thing or another. And the sun, you know, sometimes you may not have a sun, so we may need another way of cooking. But the summertime,
that's like 90% we use.
I use that so much, and it's so easy to haul in and out, and I mean, it's great. Like, it'll be sitting outside sometimes, and then here comes a big storm or windstorm or something, and you just run out, close it up real fast, and bring it right in. I mean, it takes seconds. I mean, I've gotten really good at getting it.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
And the nice thing, guys, is that when you get the sun oven heated up and you're cooking, and let's say the storm comes through, if you bring it in the house, it continues to cook.
Yeah. It will continue to cook. And again, as long as the thermometer is above 181 degrees, you're cooking. So, I mean, it can slow cook. So I've had that happen numerous times where I'll take it in. I've actually, sometimes when I'm doing demonstrations in 2 locations, I start cooking before I leave somewhere, put it in my car, drive to the next place and take it out, and it's cooking the whole way I'm driving my car. So.
And as a matter of fact, we're dehydrating some tomatoes today, and we might not get them done because
we started
the
late.
Dehydration takes a little longer, and we did start late. So we're actually going to close them. It creates an airtight seal, so no bugs will get in there, and it'll hold the heat, and it'll stay good. And then
it won't necessarily hold the heat, but it will suspend the
drying process. It'll hold the heat for a little bit, but not like all night.
But that way, no bugs will get into it.
Correct.
Right, and then tomorrow we'll bring it back out, and we'll finish dehydrating the tomatoes, and maybe I'll throw that on Instagram for you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, because the dehydrator is so nice. The dehydrated tomatoes are great. Just great.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Woo! It's hot outside. We want to thank Paul for giving up his time. He actually drove all the way down here, brought the sun ovens. You know, we do this stuff for you guys. We're just trying to bring you this off-grid information.
Well, you're doing it for the turkey and the brownies.
And definitely the turkey and the brownies. But we want you guys to open your minds. Like, you know, we're also programmed to just doing things one particular way. And when we run across stuff like this and the Mason tops and other things that we talk about on our channel, we bring it to you guys because it's very useful, right?
Easy.
This isn't like some gimmick stuff. This stuff is rock solid. It works great. It cooks your food. It has, remember we talk about one thing that you buy that can do a lot of different things. This is like the poster child for it. It does so much stuff. And so you guys have to save your money, justify the cost, and understand that it's an investment. You know, this is like a tool in your toolbox. This is like an item for being prepared, that when you need this and you use this, it's invaluable. Like, you might think that, wow, that thing's expensive, but it's not. It's going to last you a lifetime. You're going to take care of it. You're going to cook food on it. Your grandkids are going to see it. Their grandkids are going to see it. I mean, this is just something that is just generational. You guys are going to have, there's some people I know that have bought 2 and 3 of them so they can dehydrate a lot, or they can cook large family meals.
Or they have a big family, and that's
right.
Use.
That's right. So, I mean, you can get the job done with one, but there are people that buy multiple. So we're just bringing you this information. We're trying to always, like the Amish thing with the air tanks and the fans, all that kind of stuff is just to free your mind so you guys can think outside the box, so you can get these items, so you can be more prepared, so you can get the heat out of your house. You know, if you guys are living on grid, you're running your AC, you know, you don't want to whip up the stove and the top burners.
Or who even wants to cook when it's hot out?
Right. But I'm just saying, you're heating your house up, and in turn running your air conditioner more, which is putting wear and tear on your air conditioner. Then it goes out faster. I mean, it's just so much. So you guys can put your food outside in the yard, come back and get it when it's time to eat. This thing is the bomb. Boom. All right, so I think we're going to wrap it up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up on your way out. We want to say thanks to the 500 of you Homestead homies that showed up and crushed this video, asked a ton of great questions. Don't forget to sign up for the webinar. The link is down below. If you guys are watching this and it's not live, that means you're catching the replay. The link is down below for you to register for the webinar. You do not have to be at the webinar to win the sun oven, but we will be giving one away at the end of the webinar. We have a big video coming out next week probably about all the stuff we did here today, so stay tuned for that. Instagram, Facebook, all the stuff we put out, make sure you're sharing it so your friends can get this information too, because they might not be hip like you Homestead homies, and you need to help free their minds. So that's what we try to do. You know, you just keep passing that freedom around, and then that's what helps people you know, happy, healthy, live longer, challenge what you're thinking.
Use this natural resource that we have, that, you know,
right.
Use that electricity. And
the nice thing, like versus solar panels, right? Because I know you guys want us to get solar. This thing does not degrade over time like a solar panel or like batteries in your banks. This thing is going to use the sun at 100%, and it's always going to use the sun at 100%.
And I know a lot of people use them. They take them when they go camping. Or they go out.
Car and van and RVing.
Especially, you know, in so many places when they ban open flames because of the forest fire.
There you go. Right.
And you can use this, and there's absolutely no danger of
fire.
And then, yeah, you can do that. Can you roast marshmallows on it?
You can roast marshmallows, yeah, sure.
But you might not like the taste.
They'll come out fine.
You can you can put your s'mores in there.
You can make s'mores all day long.
Because it'll melt it perfectly.
Yep. Right.
There you go, you guys.
So right at about like 3 o'clock, you throw all your stuff in there for your s'mores. You guys go do your thing, and then when you come back and the stars are out, you just whip them out, and you got your s'mores at the campfire. Don't forget to check us out.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit the link down below. Hit the thumbs out on your way out. And that is...
Thanks so much.
Yeah, everyone's saying thank you. Thanks for spending the time with them, answering their questions.
Because he was a big trooper today with this heat.
Yeah, it was a hot one. But he likes to inform people about the sun oven. He's passionate about it. You guys have heard the you know, the humanitarian stuff that he does. He was a Guinness Book World Records of the most cookies baked in 1 hour using the sun ovens. So he's just a good dude, and made in America product and all that stuff that
before we go, we talk about what the proceeds that people, when they do buy.
We do have projects all over the world, and when you do buy a sun oven, that does help us with the work that we do around the world. So we make a large solar oven that we have in schools and hospitals and orphanages, and those are subsidized completely by the cost of the, I mean, we haven't raised the price of that for in the 19 years that we've been making them, and it's all done because of people who buy sun ovens in the U.S. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes internationally that we'd never be able to do if you weren't supporting us by getting sun ovens here in the U.S.
All right, I'm going to tell this story real quick, and then I'm going to let you guys go. All right, let me see how many people are still hanging in there. 450. So when you guys purchase sun ovens, Paul uses the money to help fund projects in other countries, developing countries like, you know, Haiti and Afghanistan, Africa. And he was telling us a story earlier about when they come there and they give them the sun ovens, these are able to, you know, make bread, and their cost of living goes down because they don't have to buy gas, because they don't have to fetch wood, which means that they can stay closer to the house, because in some countries the land has been so deforested, they have to leave for the whole day just to collect cooking wood,
or even just worry about getting attacked or raped.
Sure, but but they have to leave the whole day just to collect the cooking wood and then come back and then cook. This keeps them closer to the homestead. We know we like that. And it also provides them a way to make money, right? Like they are making their bread, and then that gives them money for operations there. They don't have to buy the gas. So this thing it's just huge. It's just much bigger than just like buying a sun oven. You know, Paul reaches out to community,
to fish, right? Exactly. Not giving them the food, right?
I mean, these are good stories, guys. This is why this is Off Grid with Doug and Stacy approves. All right, we're going to catch you guys on the next one. See you tomorrow. The video will be out tomorrow. It'll be probably kind of late because we've been all tied up today. So look
We've
for
been cooking.
look
It
for
looks like we're.
I hope I see you all on Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night. You guys got to be there. Sign up. Make sure you sign up for the webinar. And that's going to be a wrap.
Because you want to really win one, don't you?
Yes, you do.